what's up everyone, Time Gaming here. Welcome back for another Division 2 build video. Well guys, since everybody's busy making Heartbreaker build, I thought, why not I do what I usually do best on my channel, making some weird unorthodox builds and make it work and see how it actually goes. Well, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. Now, I do have a couple of Heartbreaker builds on my channel. If you want, you can check them out. But like I said, I just wanted to do something unique, something different on my channel today. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys. Now, you're seeing the clips that I am using a skill build pretty much because I have a turret and I have a Scorpio shotgun and I'm using it on my like legendary missions and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to build videos, people have different opinions. Some people love, all red damage crit builds. Some people love tank builds. Some people love, armor region builds, correction from elite builds, healing builds, and straight up skill build. Nobody talks about support in the game. Well, that's pretty much what I have for you guys. At the end of the day, this is an online multiplayer game. And if you're playing with other players and you're not supporting each other, well, then you're not really succeeding on your mission, are you? So that's the theme of the build today. It's to support your group members, increase their damage, but also do crazy damage at the same time. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys. So let me just show you the build over here right now. As you can see, looks pretty weird, I know. And if you haven't guessed it, what gear set I'm running, it's True Patriot. Yes, True Patriot usually drops with blue core attribute, but I spent some time with my friend. He also helped me gather some of these pieces. We went into the countdown and farmed the True Patriot because, like I said, it drops with core attribute blue. I just needed skill damage on it so I can change the skill tier. The core attribute to skill tier. That's pretty much what I'm doing. But before I talk about the build, let's just talk about the specialization that I have, which is Technician Specialization. Now, why do I have Technician Specialization? This specialization does quite a lot when it comes to like a skill build. It does a lot. So first, it gives me +1 skill tier, which I definitely need on this build because I don't have 6 skill tier without the Technician. I could definitely get it if I farm enough, but then again, having that extra blue core attribute increases my armor, which is really solid. When you're doing legendary content or something like that, more armor means you can tank more bullets. So that's why I have that. Now, Technician Specialization also gives you 10% of skill damage, which is really good. Also gives me the unique ability of being immune to jammer pulses and stuff like that when I'm sitting close to my skill. Also, that applies to my group members as well at the same time, which is really solid. Gives you the jammer, EMP grenade basically, so that's really nice. Also gives you the artificial hive. Also gives you the laser pointer, which helps you pulse NPCs. So that's awesome. That's why the Technician Specialization is really good. Again, one more thing I was forgetting, that it also increases damage that you do against drones and warhounds, all those NPCs, which is really, really great. Now, the weapon of choice that I have here is Scorpio because why not? Scorpio is the best in slot, and I need a shotgun on this build, so that's why I'm using Scorpio, because it has a built-in like status effect into it, and it has saved my life many, many times. Because I can just put status effect like shock and all that to NPCs, and NPCs will not kill me or probably can retreat from that area, or my group members will melt out an NPC. So that's really solid. That's why I have that. If you don't have a Scorpio, you can use any other shotgun if you want to, but I would highly recommend the Scorpio. You can also use a marksman rifle though, but again, Scorpio is really, really good. For the secondary weapon, I have the King's Breaker because, it's an AKM, does quite a lot of damage. It has the perfect flatline talent. Plus, I have the laser pointer from the Technician Specialization on here, so that allows me to pulse NPCs. Especially when I'm using like Fog of War directive, so it allows me to pulse them, which is really nice. Now, this is actually a flex spot. You can use any other weapon you want to, but definitely use the Scorpio as your primary, or any other shotgun if you don't have the Scorpio. Now, let's talk about the high-end pieces. So I have the Wyvernware chest piece over here because one piece Wyvernware gives me 10% of skill damage. That is really sweet. I have skill damage, skill haste mod. I have the Overwatch talent here. Why? Like I said, the theme of the video is to support your entire group's damage and everything. So when I'm in cover for 10 seconds, it increases my group members and mine weapon and skill damage by 12%, which is really good. Now, if you get out of cover, you lose the buff. However, if you make cover-to-cover move, you still keep the buff, which is really, really solid. Now, when you're using solo and you're not in a group, you can just use kinetic momentum to increase your damage by a lot. And if you're feeling brave enough, you can use a glass cannon, which obviously going to do way more damage. But then you'll be very, very squishy and vulnerable to attacks like one shot. You can get one shot with glass cannon, so be careful. So that's pretty much the chest piece. Now for the backpack, I have the new gear, which is the UG Inageteka, or should I say UG, This is the named backpack, which is called the setup, and this gives me the perfectly opportunistic talent. That's why I'm using Scorpio as my main, because it requires you to use a marksman rifle or a shotgun if you want to have the perfectly opportunistic proc for you. So that's why I use the Scorpio shotgun and shoot the NPCs, and that applies the perfectly opportunistic debuff on them, which means they take 15% of damage from all source. This means you're going to do 15% more damage, your skill will do 15% more damage, your group members will do 15% more damage to that NPC, which is absolutely amazing. Now, skill haste mod here has a protection, unfortunately, but it's all right. Has a protection, it's not bad. We have 10% skill damage, and we have blue. Obviously, if I farm it for skill damage, then I can change that to skill tier. But like I said, you know, having more armor is nice. Plus, it gives me 5% total armor as a one piece as well, so that's really good. But that's pretty much what I have on the backpack. Now let's talk about the 4-piece True Patriot. If you don't know what True Patriot does, well, it's a very old gear set in the game. It's OG True Patriot. But 2-piece gives you 30% of ammo capacity, which is really good because I have a shotgun. It increases that. Also, 3-piece gives me 30% of magazine size, which is again good for my shotgun. Now, 4-piece is where all the magic happens. We have red, white, and blue flags. These flags will cycle every 2 seconds. You can spot them on your shoulder when you have 4-piece True Patriot active. You'll see on your shoulder the flags will cycle every 2 seconds, so you can easily spot which flag you're at. Now, what does the red flag does? Well, it increases the damage the NPC takes by 8%. Basically amplifies it, so that's multiplicative. That's really good. Now, I was concerned a little bit that it will not work for my skill, but it does work on your skill. It's just like the opportunistic talent that it applies on pretty much anything. So it works for your skill, for your weapon damage, as well as your group's damage. That's right, your group's damage. So when you mark an NPC with a red flag, you, your group, your skills, everybody's doing 8% multiplicative damage, which is really good. Now, for the white flag, when you shoot the NPC with a white flag on it, you will gain 2% armor every second, which is nice. And the blue flag basically decreases the damage that enemy does to you by 8%. So that's really good as well. Decreasing an NPC's damage by 8%, that's awesome. Count me in. Now, you can obviously stack all 3 flags on a single NPC. That is why I'm using this gear set. You can stack all this flag, all 3 of them. You can stack all these 3 flag on multiple NPCs, not just one at a time. All of the NPCs that you see, you can shoot them and you can stack them, which is really nice. Now, what happens when they have all 3 flags? Well, if they die when they have all 3 flag, they will explode and create a 5-meter explosion, which is really, really nice. And that can, you know, wipe out an entire stack of NPC. Depends on which NPC you killed with 3 flags active. So if you kill an elite, they will create a stronger explosion because elite NPCs got more armor and more health on them. So that's why, you know, killing an elite NPC will create a stronger explosion. Now, this explosion is actually reduced on named NPCs like boss NPCs, because obviously boss NPCs got way more armor and health, so that's why it's, you know, reduced on that. Now, all my pieces got skill damage and skill tier on it. I farmed with skill damage, so I can change the blue to skill tier, pretty much what I did. I have skill haste mod. You can use any mod you want. You can use skill duration, protection from elite. You know, it's up to you, but I like having skill haste. So on the holster as well, I have, you know, skill damage and skill tier. Same for the knee pad, skill damage, skill tier. And for the gloves, I have skill damage, skill tier. My skill damages are not maxed out, but I'm still doing quite a lot of damage. Now, speaking of damage, let me show you how much damage I can actually do. So let's show you on the shooting range. So first, I'm going to actually drop the Artificial Hive, because Artificial Hive will buff my damage. Again, if you drop the Artificial Hive on the ground, this will buff your group members' skill damage as well. If they're using a shield, it will heal their shield as well, which is really solid. So you see, I'm just being consistent with the theme of support here. So let me drop the hive here with, let's just have a drone on it active, so I can show you how much damage I do without the hive, and then I'll show you what I do with the hive. So let's take cover and let's wait for Overwatch to proc. It takes 10 seconds to proc when you're in cover. There you go. It's almost built up. And let's activate the turret right now. So there you go. With Overwatch, the turret is actually doing 122,000 damage here. You can see it on the damage numbers. Now let's just activate the opportunistic. So now opportunistic give me 141,000. So that's like a 20k damage buff. That is really sweet. Now let's try and activate True Patriot. Let's just kill this target. So let's try and activate True Patriot and see how much damage it does. So now True Patriot is active. Let's see. There we go. Now my turret is doing 183,000. You can see with True Patriot, Opportunistic, Overwatch, 183,000 damage the turret is doing. That is really sweet. Now let's get the hive here, the artificial hive, and see how much damage my turret will actually do with the buff. So right now my hive is already active, as you can see, and my turret is already hitting 161,000 without the opportunistic or True Patriot buff. So let's just destroy this target real quick, and let's try and get the opportunistic active. So now with opportunistic and the artificial buff here, I am actually doing 200,000. You can see 200,000 with my turret. Oh, actually True Patriot is also active. Okay. So we got True Patriot active, opportunistic. I am doing 200,000 with the turret. So that's really good. No, wait. That wasn't active. Okay, sorry, my bad. It wasn't active. My bad. With every buff active, opportunistic, True Patriot, and everything, it does 240,000, not 200,000. 200,000 is when we don't have the artificial buff active. So 240k. I'll show you again if you don't believe me. For some reason, people still, there are people who doesn't believe. So there you go. Oh wait, the target is destroyed. That's how quickly it's killing it, man. That's a named target on a heroic. Yeah. So let me try proc red flag. Come on, there you go. So there you go. 240k when all the buff and everything is active. 240k with this particular setup. Now let's show you how much damage you'll actually do when you have like kinetic momentum. So we're gonna wait for kinetic momentum to build up, and again I will drop the hive and put a drone in it. So first let's see the damage without the hive. So kinetic momentum is building up. Even when it's building up slowly, you'll see the damage kind of increase slowly. Like I'm doing, look at that. Look at the damage increasing slowly when the stack is building up here. See, it's building up slowly. Look at that. Once the stack is building up. So once we have full kinetic momentum stack active, we're doing 140k without any buff. Let's just do opportunistic now. 161. Yep, with opportunistic, kinetic momentum, 161. Let's just destroy this target and apply the True Patriot real quick. Video is getting longer. Let's go. So we have the True Patriot buff active and kinetic momentum and everything. So we have 209k. Yes, 209k damage, as you see. 209, almost 210, but let's call it 209. So when we have the kinetic momentum active, opportunistic, and True Patriot active, we're doing 209,000, which is really good. Now let's try with the artificial hive. Trust me, this will go over 270k. That's insane damage. So with just the hive here and just half of the kinetic momentum damage, we're doing 170k already. And it's building up slowly. You can see the stack. My damage is also improving. 177, 180, 181, 183, so 184. That's what's much damage I can do with the kinetic momentum and obviously the artificial hive. So let's activate the opportunistic. Now you can see with opportunistic 212,000. Look at that, 212k with opportunistic, artificial, and kinetic momentum. Now let's activate True Patriot. Okay, so let's wait for it. We're gonna activate True Patriot. That's the red flag. That's what I want. That's the damage bonus. So now look at that. The buff hits. Look at that. 275,000. I told you it's gonna hit insane. So 275,000 with kinetic momentum, artificial hive, opportunistic, and True Patriot. So your turret is doing 275. I mean, my turret. I mean, the amount of damage that I have, my skill damages are not like maxed out, but I'm still doing 275 with the kinetic momentum. But again, doing 240k with the, this Overwatch talent when you're in a group. So use it like that. If you want to, you'll do 240k on the turret or more. Depends on how much your stats is. I don't have, like I said, maxed out skill damage. So that's pretty much the build. So you are doing crazy damage as well as you're buffing your entire group damage. True Patriot is buffing it. Overwatch is buffing it. Opportunistic is buffing it. Also, the artificial hive is buffing the damage of your team member's skill if you're running the skill build. So yeah, it's a lot of support here. I think it's probably the best support in the game, to be honest, because I mean you have Eclipse Protocol for support like CC. You have a Future Initiative for the damage buff, but then Future Initiative is a healing build. You don't actually have a drone or turret right there. So yeah, True Patriot is working really solid. Just try it out. Like I said, it's a weird, funny build, but it does work. It works group, it works solo. And what else do you want, right? I'll show you all the gameplay. There will be timestamp, like I said. If you want, you can jump here and there to that. So that's pretty much for the video. I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.